If we're looking at our clients on site, there's probably sort of 3 stages to sales. What would you outline them as?
When training sales, especially into a, what's the word I'm looking for here? The field staff aren't necessarily all whacking their hand up going, I want to be great at sales. Yeah. So they're not exactly an eager and interested audience type. And so trying to teach and train the whole thing in big slabs of information is probably detrimental because it's just going to overwhelm them and they're going to take so little out of so much that it probably won't create an impact and you'll get super frustrated.
Yep.
So I like to segment it into 3 primary sort of spaces and I like to move chronologically through that. So the first bit is building rapport.
Yep.
Without that human connection, you're going to really struggle to sell. So finding that common ground, finding that relatability, finding that human connection.
Yep.
And building rapport is a trump skill in modern society as well.
And you'll look at your team and you'll see that some guys are just naturally great at this. Yep. Other guys maybe not so much, but it can also be learnt, right?
It can be learnt. And I think you've got to also, as a business owner in the modern world, you've got to prepare yourself for, I feel like the younger generations that are coming into the workforce now have less and less rapport building skill sets as a default. So if you fast forward 30 years, training rapport will be critically important in the onboarding phase, not just to get people to sell, but because the social skills are being eroded so quickly.
Yeah, before phones, all we were doing was building rapport constantly.
Exactly.
When you had to meet your girlfriend at the pub or...
Yep.
But now a lot of it's done in words.
Well, there's no rapport building in text message.
Yeah.
Is it? It's just it's just transfer of information.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So we lose that ability to build those connections. And it's an intimidating space. Like as a tradesperson, as a technician, let's just say you're doing service and maintenance. Your day involves speaking to strangers every single day.
Yeah. And trying to find common ground can be difficult depending on the person that you're speaking to.
Exactly, yeah. And so spending time to equip your team with rapport building skills, and this is like a freebie because you can get this through the door without it even being sales training.
Yeah.
Because rapport building is just good customer service.
True.
And most technicians will be like, oh, well, I see the value in me being able to provide good customer service. It doesn't feel as dirty for them, but it's the first pillar in sales.
Yep.
So if we get everyone building rapport really well, then we're a good chunk of the way into
a good foundation for the next step. So what's next after that?
Once you've got good rapport building skills trained into your team, then I like to train in the skill set of problem finding. So most clients that you go to are unaware of problems. And so we have to be able to train our team into identify what the opportunities actually are.
Yep.
That's just tuning their lens in.
Yeah.
Like what are the stuff they walk past, and how do we get them to check step there and go, I'm not going to walk past that. I've got to acknowledge that, and then we've got to look at how do we communicate that.
Yep. So take the blinkers off instead of just focusing on we're installing this one thing. What else is happening on site? Where are the opportunities for an on-site upsell today, or potentially a callback at another time to come back?
Yeah. Maximizing the value of the job for the business, but more importantly, maximizing the value that the customer gets out of their experience with your organization.
Yep. Cool. And then the third piece of the puzzle
is pitching and closing, which is really where the salesy stuff really comes into it.
Yep.
Like the first two, you can write the first one like that rapport building off as customer service.
Yep.
You can write the problem finding off as being a good technician and being tuned in. And then when you get into pitching and closing,
there's no hiding from
it. So if we've built two good skill sets, all we need is a little bit of success and people will start to buy in on that, and then they can be like the excited version of a salesperson.
And people with a team, I guess they'd be thinking about their team members now, and they could probably see that different people have different strengths in those 3 areas.
Yeah.
Some people are really good at building rapport, but maybe just aren't looking around at what opportunities are out there on a site. And then there's other people who may not be as warm and fuzzy or friendly, but they're great at closing or getting a decision made.
Yeah. I think that, and so tuning your training in to suit the individual. So how do you help an individual with building up the deficiency in their sales profile.
Yep. And I guess like a big thing is like as a business owner, there's a very clear incentive to get good at this process because, you know, you see the financial benefit from this.
Yeah.
Whereas as a team member, we have to either make this fun or incentivize it in some way.
100%.
And so what's some ideas around that for guys?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really hard ask for you to motivate people to try something that they're not good at and put themselves out there in the face of rejection without an incentivized model behind you in some way, shape or form.
Yeah.
So finding a way to run a commission-based or a bonus system based on the success of those sales opportunities that they create for themselves.
Yep.
It also unlocks the pay ceiling within your organization. So if people really want to apply themselves and build really solid sales skills, then the earning capacity is almost untapped. Like you can earn, a sizable amount more by being good at the sales component of what you do.
And so would you say it's like, would you give them a percentage of the upsell? Or how would you incentivize it?
A few different ways that we've seen this done before and we've rolled out before. Percentage of sale is one of the ways to do that. Personally, it's not my favorite. I like a fixed dollar amount per item. In doing so, you can control the variables a little bit more.
Yep.
And it's a little bit more, I feel it's a little bit more tangible for the technician.
Yeah.
They see that as a $30 opportunity. They see that as a $50 opportunity for them. They see that as a $20 opportunity for them. Not like, oh, I get 10% of like, oh, what's that? Oh, what's that worth to me? They don't have to do that like, is this worth me having the conversation? It just becomes a little bit sharper in their decision making, just like,
Makes sense. Yeah. Okay. And then I guess, you've got to teach the process to your team. You've also got to, by giving examples, I guess, then you've got to see where people's strengths and weaknesses are. So is that by being on site with them, or are you going to do role plays in the workshop, or what's the best way for a team to roll this out?
I think there's a lot to be said for role playing in a team meeting.
Yep.
That gets, everyone else to see how, and you can be the customer, and you can be a difficult customer, or you can be an agreeable customer, and you can test a whole heap of different scenarios with your team without the risk of failure.
Yep.
It's a safe place to practice. Yeah. We've done sales training before with different organizations, and one of the things that they do really well is that they always do a role play before getting on the phone to a lead. Yeah, it's like you blow the cobwebs out in a safe environment so that you're not fumbling a real opportunity.
Yeah.
And so I feel like there's a great opportunity to bring that into your team meetings.
And you get to see what everyone else, everyone's got strengths and everyone's got little ways of doing things, and you kind of pick up from that and you can add it to your kit, which is pretty cool.
But I wouldn't stop at team meetings either. If you are good at sales, if you're the business owner and you are good at sales, it's worth doing a ride along with someone and showing them the success that they can have by following your process.
Yeah.
It's not always a do as I say. It's like, no, trust me, this works. Let me show you it works. Because once they see it work, they're like, right.
And they see it wasn't as hard or scary as what they might have thought.
Exactly. Yeah. So putting yourself out there at the coalface and working with them, doing some ride-alongs and actually showing them how it clicks together, and that it's not just something that's good in principle, but something that actually works in the field, will inspire them to probably commit a little bit more to taking the actions, the day-to-day actions.
Cool. I love that. Well, look, guys who are listening, or if you're watching on YouTube, if you've got an example of how you've trained your team to be better at sales, put it in the comments, because we'd love to hear, and we love to hear some really different ideas. Thinking outside the box is always exciting, and I'll throw it out there. For the best idea in the comments, we'll get a free pair of UpScale socks sent to them. So, chuck it in there. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and Kirk, it's been really good to have a chat again in the podcast studio.
Thanks, Gegsy. We'll see you soon, eh?
See you, mate.